Okay, so for those of you that did not get a chance to check your work earlier, I'm going to go through these problems. On all of them, the first step is to find the lowest common multiple. And sometimes the lowest common multiple is one of the denominators already. And if that happens, then all you have to do is multiply that whole fraction times 1, or just rewrite it. But then the other fraction, you look at the denominator. How can I turn it into that least common multiple, which is 8? The way I'm going to do that is by multiplying by 2. So now I need to multiply also the numerator by 2. So it's not just the denominator, it's also the numerator. Now, the next step is the only thing that's different about addition and subtraction is that you subtract the bottom numerator from the top numerator, and that gives you the numerator of your answer. So our answer was 4 minus 2 equals 2 over 8. So our answer is 2/8. Now, I did give you the opportunity to simplify if you wanted to go that extra step. And I will be happy to go over that with you at school, but I'm not going to do it on this video because I don't want to confuse the necessary basic steps that you need in order to do well on the quiz tomorrow. So, you have, again, here are our denominators, 5 and 10. What is the least common multiple? It already is one of those denominators. It is 10. So since 10 is the least common multiple, it is also the least common denominator. We're going to multiply that fraction by 1. And this fraction, in order to make this 5 be a matching denominator with this one, these two denominators need to match, I need to multiply this whole fraction by 2. So that gives me a numerator of 3 times 2, which is 6. And a denominator, which is 5 times 2, which is 10. So now I have matching or like denominators. So now I can subtract. And I'm going to subtract the numerators. 6 minus 2 equals 4. So that means that we have a numerator of 4, and our denominator stays the same. It's 10. So we have 4/10. Moving right along, our lowest common multiple between these two numbers, between 7 and 14, our lowest common multiple is 14. So we just multiply that fraction by 1, keeping it the same. Up here, in order to make our denominator 14, we have to multiply everything by 2. So 3 times 2 equals 6 for a numerator of 6. 7 times 2 equals 14 for a denominator of 14. So now we have like denominators. They're both 14. And since they're like denominators, we can subtract. So we're going to take the two numerators and subtract. 6 minus 2 equals 4. And our denominator stays the same, of 14. So our difference is 4/14. Okay? Now, I'm going, those of you that were struggling with this, most of you, I wrote the steps on your paper. So I want you to now pause the video, and I want you to try to do some of these on your own. And then you can restart the video when you're ready to check your work. I'm not going to break down every single step from here on out. I'm just going to do it. So we'll multiply our lowest common multiple is 10. So that means I'm multiplying the top fraction by 2 to get 4/10. And I'm going to subtract 2/10 from that for a difference of 2/10, because 4 minus 2 equals 2. Okay. This, we multiply times 2. It becomes 6/12 minus 2/12. 6 minus 2 is 4. So our difference is 4/12. I skipped a step here, sort of. I didn't write what I multiplied, but I think you can figure it out. Okay. Oops, my mistake, 2/12. Oops, look what I just did. I just wrote 10 minus 2, but I accidentally added, and I realized it when I was gonna have the answer of 12/12, and I knew that was not the answer, so I went back to see what I had done wrong. 10 minus 2 equals 8, so that gives me the answer of 8/12. Okay, hopefully you are able to follow what I'm doing. I'm just following those same steps. Find the lowest common multiple. Then I've got to multiply both fractions times something so that my denominator is whatever that lowest common multiple is. Now, sometimes I only have to multiply by 1. And that has been the case on all of these today, that we've only had, so that both, so now my lowest common multiple becomes the lowest common denominator, okay? And that is really the trickiest step. And then remembering that you're subtracting instead of adding, okay? So finding the lowest common multiple, here it's going to be 12. And then the third step is just to subtract the numerators. (11 minus 2 equals 9). And then just write your answer. So our answer is 9/12. Now, because there's so much writing on here, you are welcome to get another piece of paper to write out your problems. But if you have all this, I want you to be sure you circle your final answer for each one so that it's easy to tell what it is. Okay, so we're going to multiply times 3 to get 9 as our lowest common denominator. Okay, and the last one, oops. All right, there we go. So there are your answers. And if you need any other help, let me know. We do have a quiz tomorrow. The quiz is going to have addition and subtraction on it. And I will have these steps written on the board if you need me to. But you've got to be able to follow them on your own. Hope that was helpful. See you tomorrow.